Alright guys, here we go, episode 65, no highlights from a game this week. Only a couple of people had games for week 15, and then we're going to throw in the conference championship week after that. So the guys that did play were, I think, Kansas, ended up losing 38-15, Rutgers, who wins 55-35, and Louisville, he didn't get to play his game. He had errors or issues playing it, like a lot of people do for some reason. I've never had it, the Italians never had it. But a lot of people do have it where they'll play the game, get all the way through it, then when they go to leave it says commissioner has made changes, and I don't make changes except for right before I advance it, so it shouldn't do that. I don't know why it does, but sometimes it does do it. So we're going to advance it real quick to see what happens in the top 25 and who ends up playing for what conference championship, and we'll be right back. Alright, let's get done with the advance. We are now into the conference championship week, and we did not make it. I'm pretty sure Missouri ends up jumping up to play for the conference championship. Somebody had asked about the recruiting. I typically don't show it during the regular season because I don't want other members of the Dynasty going after the same people, seeing what they're rated and all their stats and all that. So I'm actually going to show it here because we're almost at the end of the season. It's not really going to matter for most of the guys I have on my list. I think the only one I'm really battling it out with is Ole Miss, and I only have 7 scholarships remaining, so it's not like that big of a deal for me if I lose anybody. I've had an exceptional year recruiting. Looking at the top schools, like I said, me and Ole Miss battling it out for the same guys a lot of the time, and other than that, it's just the computer. And I do have an advantage, me and Ole Miss both do, that we can put 700 points per week, whereas everybody else can only do 500, because we are the only two that has the Coach XP. So it's not really that big of a deal, but it kind of is. But I don't know. Some of these people nobody's even going after anyways. Looking at the list, I just added more people to the end. I've got a pretty good recruiting class this year. I'm extremely satisfied with what my recruiting has turned out to be. A lot of defense this year to help improve what we've got going on. And we will check the top classes as of right now. And we are number 1. We've got 1 5-star, 12 4-stars, and 18 total. Ole Miss number 4, LSU number 7, and then Clemson, Florida State, Missouri. I mean, they don't even get Coach XP, and they're still in the top 25, stuff like that. Rutgers. So it is possible. It's not like it's super complicated, but it just depends on where you're at and who you're trying to target. And then on down the list, Kansas, and then ECU and Auburn. And so going to see who's actually playing for the conference championship, since we are not. LSU plays Missouri for the conference championship, number 11 versus number 25. Florida State plays number 3, Virginia Tech. They do have a shot to jump in the rankings, but Clemson also has a chance to sneak up in there since they are number 4 with number 3 loses. Auburn doesn't get a play this year. They had a really good year. They only lost once, which was to LSU in conference, and that was all it took. That was just crazy, man. Like I said, Missouri is playing on my side against LSU, and ECU is playing Tulsa, or is that Tulane? That's Tulane. My bad, Tulane. And UCLA is playing Washington State. So it's a little bit different from it has been the past couple of years, but we still got some users playing this week anyways. Checking out the top 25, number 1, number 2. Like I said, Clemson is a close 4th, but I don't know without a loss between those two if they'll be able to jump them or not. Which ideally they would, because they're in a tougher conference, but this is a video game and it is the BCS, so that doesn't seem to matter. But Rutgers has come in since he's joined the Dynasty and absolutely earned his spot in the number 2 slot, as well as Clemson and Florida State being in the top as well. And Ole Miss, LSU, Auburn, ECU, Louisville, Vanderbilt, and Missouri ranks up 25. The BCS, the one that really matters. Yeah. If Virginia Tech loses, which I'm going to assume they do to Florida State, there could be some kind of swap around up in here. It's going to be interesting to see. I'm anxious to see what's going on there. But we're going to check out the awards finalists. And Heisman watch, he's pretty much guaranteed to get it. It didn't pop up for me. This is what we're looking at right now. UCLA, Florida State, because they both have games. ECU has a game, so they're just going to kind of take away or kind of tick off and leave everybody else since they have that extra game. It's going to be interesting to see what's going on there. And awards finalists, see who's essentially going to win the award. Then after the advance next week, we'll probably show it again just so we could see who actually won it and who did not. But I mean, look at that. Golly, users upon users upon users dominating this thing. This is just that's what you want. Well, except for that one, tight end. Wow, tight end. I'm surprised that as much as people have been hitting tight ends most of the season, been a little hard to believe. But hey, yeah, this I don't understand. My middle linebacker has 81 tackles on the season, but he is in third place. Well, I had the most tackles. LSU, wow, LSU jumped way up there, got 85. And then Florida State's only got 48, but he's got 20 sacks, so that probably helps. It's just one of those odd things. I was leading the nation in tackles for a player, and I think it was with my middle linebacker. Kick returner, best returner better be at Florida State. Yeah, I mean, he returned 2 on me, like no big deal. Was busted around the outside, and he was gone. But as of right now, before anything happens with the people that are playing, check out the bowl games. So more than likely, what it'll end up being, minus some changes with number 3 losing. Like I said, I assume. Where are we gonna get somebody? Let's see, somebody at Louisville and USC in a Fight Hunger Bowl. And then we have ECU and Cincinnati in the Liberty Bowl. Vanderbilt, Florida State rematch. But like I said, Florida State can jump up and move up in the rankings, so this might not happen. But as of right now, it's a rematch against my last game against Florida State in the Chick-fil-A Bowl. And then we have Auburn, Wisconsin in the Capital One Bowl. Ole Miss, Texas in the Rose Bowl. Clemson, Nebraska, the Fiesta Bowl. LSU, Ohio State in the Orange Bowl. Missouri, Baylor, Cotton Bowl. And then Rutgers, UCLA in the National Championship. But stuff, crazy things can happen. It's still up for grabs. We'll find out and whenever we advance it, which will be here pretty quick as soon as everybody gets done playing. But that's going to be it for this part, and we'll be right back with the next advance. Alright guys, we're back. We are in the Conference Championship week. We just got done with the advance into the Conference Championship week, so let's see how everybody did that actually got to play. LSU ends up getting the win over Missouri 31-17. Florida State puts the whooping on Virginia Tech 80-27. Let's see, anybody else? ECU ends up winning in overtime. That was a good game right there, 49-42. UCLA did not play their game this week. I checked its profile, hadn't been on in the 3 days since the advance. So sorry, man, I'm going to skip past you. Hopefully you get the win. You are number 1 in the nation. So here's the hoping. And the Italian had a bye week. So we're going to advance it real quick, see what's going on, see who's playing for the national championship, see who wins the Heisman and all those other awards. And we'll bring it right back. All right, showing the Heisman, and it is Devin Meade from Florida State. That dude is really good, man. He had a really good season. Quarterback from UCLA, right behind him, 300 votes back. Hopkins, ECU's quarterback, jumped up there, 800. Whoops, phone going off. 800. And that's not bad for the conference he's in. He did pretty good. A halfback for Ole Miss, and then Clemson. They're running back up there, doing pretty good. Let's see what's going on and everything else. I'm playing Virginia Tech. Dang, I almost had to play Florida State as a rematch. And I'm playing Virginia Tech since they lost. We went from 3-9, so maybe some upsets in the top 5 for sure. I move up a little bit. Let's see what's going on. Who plays who? LSU plays Stanford. Florida State is number 4. They play Ohio State. Number 3, Clemson, just out of reach, plays Notre Dame. Number 11, Auburn plays Nebraska. Kansas, like I said before, he joined the Dynasty late, and he didn't have a good year before he joined, so doesn't get to play in a bowl game. Sorry, man. Missouri plays Baylor. Number 2, Rutgers plays number 1, UCLA. UCLA ended up getting the win. It's gonna be a battle for sure. Number 17, Louisville plays Ohio. 14, ECU plays Cincy, and number 7, Ole Miss plays Texas. So let's see what's actually going on in the top 25. See what actually happened. What's going on? So 3 lost, of course. Clemson, not quite enough to get there. They didn't. That undefeated streak by Rutgers ended up holding them out, and UCLA almost lost, man, 38-34. We're very fortunate there. Anybody else? Ohio State moved up for beating Nebraska, and that's pretty much it. We had a lot of people in the season ranked and right outside of being ranked, so we had a really good year as a dynasty as a whole. A lot of like, we had new people, of course, but a lot of these guys stayed in it for most of the season, which it's one of the first seasons we've had that happen. So hopefully that turns out pretty good. Check out the All-Americans. See what we got. UCLA, Florida State, Ole Miss, Florida State, UCLA again, Clemson center, Rutgers right guard, UCLA again, Rutgers right tackle, LSU, Missouri, UCLA, Florida State. UCLA and Florida State pretty much dominating the first team all NCAA. Let's check out second team. Clemson's got some guys on there. Rutgers, Louisville's up there. UCLA again. Ole Miss, UCLA, Missouri. Vandy is my only guy so far, and that's all I get. And then we got the returner from ECU. Check out the freshman All-Americans. Rutgers quarterback was a freshman. Oh man, he's gonna have. It'd be nice to hold on to that guy for the rest of his time. 6'4", 241, not bad. Ole Miss center was a freshman. ECU left end, and he had a pretty good year. He made All-American, that's for sure. And then LSU's middle linebacker. Florida State's corner, he had a pretty good year too. And then that's it for the users. So that's pretty good, man. Users pretty much dominated the entire thing all across the board. Check out the award winner. See who ended up winning everything. UCLA gets the Maxwell, just out of reach for the for the Heisman though. Also wins Walter Camp. Florida State, Bednarik, and Nagurski. I'm gonna destroy these names. Florida State, O'Brien, UCLA, Walker, Florida State. I'm not even gonna Balintikoff. I don't even know how to say that name. Florida State, wide receiver, Mackey. Whoa, wow. Washington State. UCLA was quite a bit of ways down there, but so far that's the only one that's not a user. Center from Clemson ended up winning it. Remington, Clemson again. Lombardi, LSU. Best linebacker, Florida State. Thorpe, Florida State again. Groza, Florida. And then we were right there. My kicker with dreads. He had a pretty good year kicking the ball. Just not as good as that guy. The guy, Notre Dame. Closest one was LSU or UCLA. Best returner, Florida State. That would have been my guess. He returned 2 kicks on me out of his 5 touchdowns. Or 7 touchdowns total. So, I mean, hey, he deserved it. Check out the bowl game. See what bowl and who's playing where. We know who's playing who. Just don't know what bowl game scenario we have going on. Louisville, Ohio in the Kraft Fight Hunger Bowl. Then we have ECU, Cincy in the AutoZone Liberty Bowl. I play Virginia Tech in the Chick-fil-A Bowl. Not a BCS bowl though. I was way too low in the rankings for that. Auburn plays Nebraska in the Capital One Bowl. Ole Miss plays Texas in the Rose Bowl. Florida State, Ohio State in the Fiesta Bowl. Clemson, Notre Dame in the Sugar Bowl. LSU, Stanford in the Orange Bowl. I'm surprised there's not more user games. Is there any other? Is actually, I think the only user game bowl-wise is a national championship. Missouri Baylor in the Cotton Bowl. Or the national championship. I think that's the only user game this year. That is insane. That is craziness, man. I just now realized that. Wow. You only got one user on user game. Wow, let's double check it real quick. Yeah, whoa, that's crazy. But we're gonna end it here. We'll be back in 3 days to show the highlights from there and get back into the off season, start another season, and get this thing rolling to year 5, I think. We're going to be in 2017. So we'll be a good ways into it. But that's going to be it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. I will see y'all next time.